Hari.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It is 14th of December. It is Margasesha Masa or Keshava Masa, Sukla Pakshan, and Chaturdasi Tithi. So there are no Vaishnavas in the calendar. So we'll quickly move into the Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead speaking to Brahma about himself and his different pastimes and also his energies. Likewise, he has described two of the Chatashloki Bhagavata. So these are the Aham Eva Sameva Agre Nanyad Yad Sad Asad Param Pashadaham Ede Tatya Yo Avisheta So Asmyaham. That is the first statement. And second statement is the Rutyardham Yat Pratiyeta Na Pratiyeta Chatmani Tad Vidhad Atmano Mayam Yata Bhaso Yata Tamaha. So likewise, two statements the Lord spoke to Brahma about his existence, that he existed all the time without any discontinuation in his abode. And then second statement is which is appearing to be that which is disconnected from the Lord. It is just an illusion. But everything is under the Lord's direction, everything is going on. But it is a illusionary energy of the Lord that it bewilders the people that it is not related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the second statement. And then today the Lord is saying to for third statement, that is the third Chatashloki Bhagavata. So it is about the how he enters into the cosmos. How he enters into the cosmos. So giving an analogy for us to understand and also to Brahma to understand that this universe is made up of the primary elements, the earth, water, and fire, and then wind and space. So the five elements, Mahatattva, mind, intelligence, and ego. So these are all Mahatattva, Bhinna Prakriti. So when these are created, at the same time, they are the coverings of the universe. At the same time, they also enter into the cosmos to form the ingredients inside the universe. So that means they existed outside and also inside. They entered inside as well as they are separate already outside. In the similar way, the Lord, he enters into the cosmos. At the same time, he is outside of this cosmos as well. So likewise, the Lord is saying. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So second canto, chapter 9, verse number 35. यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु उच्चावचेष्वनु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न त्वेष्वहम् यथा महान्ति भूतानि yatha just as mahanti bhutani the universal elements mahanti bhutani just like this the universal elements bhuteshu ucchavacheshvanu bhuteshu ucchavacheshvanu cheshvanu so in the minute and gigantic anu after pravishtani they enters, apravishtani and also not entered. Bhuteshu ucchavacheshunu pravishtani apravishtani they have entered, but at the same time not entered as well. So tata in the similar way, teshu na tveshvaham. So in the similar way, I also enter into the cosmos, but at the same time not enter into the cosmos. He is always outside of this cosmos as well. And also Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhuto. He is already Goloka and at the same time in the heart of all the living entities. So likewise, this is the third Shlokya Bhagavata. Yata mahandi bhutani bhuteshu ucchavacheshvanu pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu natveshvaham. So translation for this verse. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within the everything created and at the same time I am outside of everything. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. So can I request two voluntary devotees to read the purport? So the first paragraph and then until it goes to the first shloka of here, one shloka, and second devotee is going to read from here this expansion to until here. So can I request Sanchita Mataji to start with?
Hare Krishna. The purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The great elements of material creation, namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether, all enter into the body of all manifested entities. The seas, the mountains, aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested. And at the same time, such elements are differently situated. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human being can study both physiological and physical science, but the basic principles of such sciences are nothing but the material elements and nothing more. The body of human being and the body of mountain, as also the bodies of demigods, including Brahma, are all the same ingredients, earth, water, etc. And at the same time, the elements are beyond the body. The elements were created first, and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later. But in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and they did not enter. Similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything, is in the manifested cosmos, and at the same time is outside of everything, situated in the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha Loka, as described before. This is very nicely stated in Brahma Samhita 5.37 as follows. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhabhitabhis Tabhirya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by expansion of his internal potency of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss, enjoy in his own and expanded form. Simultaneously, he enters into every atom of the creation. This expansion of his plenary paths is also more definitely explained in the same Brahma Samhita 535 as follows. Thank you. एकोऽपि असौ रचयितुं जगत् आनन्दकोटिं यच्शक्तिर् अस्ति जगत् आनन्द चया यद् अन्तः अन्धान्तरस्थ परमाणु Chayantarastham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who by one of his plenary portions entered into the existence of every universe and every particle of the atoms, and thus unlimitedly manifests his infinite energy all over the material creation. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jaya. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request that the devotee take a turn and read next section, please? Any voluntary devotees? Mrida Sachi Mataji, would you like to read? If you are available. Any other devotees?
I can read Prabhupada.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. The impersonalist can imagine or even perceive that the Supreme Brahman is thus all-pervading, and therefore they conclude that there is no possibility of his personal form. Herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with such a transcendental love of Godhead can without difficulty see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable or immovable object. And at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates who are also expressions of his transcendental existence. This vision is the real mystery of spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord in the beginning. Sarahasyam Tad Angam Cha. This mystery is the most confidential part of the knowledge of the Supreme, and it is impossible for the mental speculators to discovering by dint of intellectual gymnastics. The mystery can be revealed through the process recommended by Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita 5.38 as follows. Premanjana Acharita Bhakti Vilochana Santa Sadveda Pridesu Vilokyanti Yam Syama Sundaram Achintya Guna Sware Priya Swarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the original personality of Godhead, Govinda, whom the pure devotees, their eyes are smeared with the ointment of love of Godhead, always observe within their hearts. This Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, is Syam Sundara with all transcendental qualities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, this description of the great elements. So Jagruhe Paurusham Rupam Bhagavan Mahadadibihi Sambhotam Sodasakalamado Loksisrukshaya. The initial all elements, 16 elements of creation. So this is about the Karnadak Sai Vishnu. So he glances at Rama Devi, and then the shadow energy is the Durga Devi. And there is a Mahatattva, which is the called Pradhana. And when he glances, the Pradhana is turns into Prakriti. Pradhanam Prakritim Prahuhu Avishesham Visheshavat. So, and that how it is agitated by Trigunas, three material modes of nature. Yatta Trigunam Avyaktam Nityam Sad Asadatmakam Pradhanam. This is Pradhanam Prakritim Prahuhu Avishesham Visheshavat. So these are agitated by the Lord. So by his glance and Rama Devi, the shadow energy is Durga Devi, and then these three material modes of nature come and enter into this Mahatattva, and Mahatattva is expand itself into all the 16 principles. And here all these elements like the namely earth, water, fire, air, and ether all enter into the body of all manifested entities. So just how do we understand easily? In the mother's womb, uh, as soon as a child develops inside the womb of the mother, child's body is formed from the body of mother itself. So in one way, it is not different from the mother's body, but at the same time, it is also different. Once the mother gave birth to the child is he lives separately, independently, but at the same time, he is also part of the body before. So likewise, uh, here Prabhupada is describing here as well. All these are all enter into the body of all manifested entities. So here, for example, I am exist. I am also actually the part of my mother. My body is formed from the my mother's body. So, but at the same time, I am also separate. So the seas, mountains, aquatics, plants, reptiles, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and everyone materially manifested. It's a different descriptions in explaining this. And at the same time, such elements are differently situated. In the developed stage of consciousness, the human being can study both physiological and physical science, but the basic principles of such sciences are nothing but just the material elements and nothing more. So what we need to understand is what is behind it. For generally, when we are making something, there is a formula behind it. Formula is very important, and it is also having some kind of a patent rights on the formulas. So that is important. It is not how making. So if we have got formula, then we can make anything whatever we want, wherever we want. It can be made in different countries, different places like that. Of course, as long as the ingredients are there. But here, in order for ingredients to come and form, there is a plan. If we take a seed and one small banyan tree seed, it grows. The structure of the banyan tree is already existing in the seed. And also, once that plant, the banyan tree, once the seed is sowed into the earth, and then it grows, and then it comes again so many thousands of fruits and comes, and then from again millions of seeds, millions of trees will come. But actually, everything is in very subtle level. The formula, the structure, which is already embedded within the seed. But the tree is nothing but the another form of that formula is the seed. So the body of the human being and the body of the mountain and also the bodies of demigods, including Brahma, are all of the same ingredients: earth, water, fire, um, wind and space, and then mind, intelligence, and ego. And at the same time, the elements are beyond the body. These elements are all beyond the body. Elements are were created first, and therefore they entered into the bodily construction later on. But in both circumstances, they entered the cosmos and also did not enter. They entered the cosmos and also did not enter. So here, just like when the baby is getting developed in the womb, the first few days, first 5 days, and then later 10 days, and then first month, second month, third month, baby is getting developed. But at the same, mother is outside and she does not enter. At the same time, she is also inside the sorry, uh, her body is also entering into the body of the baby. See, that is the very beauty of the creation. She is entering, and at the same time, she is not entering. So, similarly, the Supreme Lord, by his different energies, namely the internal and external, is within everything in the manifested cosmos. And at the same time, he is outside of everything, situated in the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha Loka, as described before. So this is explaining here in the Brahma Samhita, Ananda Chinmay Rasa Pratibhavitabihi Tabhirya Eva Nijrupataya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Ananda Chinmaya. Chit, this is Ananda is the all happiness. Chit is the eternal. Chinmaya. Rasa Pratibhavitabihi. So his Lord is the Rasa Vigraha. Pratibhavitabihi and Tabihi. Tabihi with all the gopis. Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalabihi. In his own form and his expansions. Kalabihi. Nijarupataya Kalabihi. And then he enjoys there with his own potency and also his expansions. This is Nijrupataya Kalabihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhuto. While he is enjoying with his all the gopis in the Goloka Vrindavana, at the same time, he simultaneously enters into heart of all the living entities. Akilatma Bhuto, Akila Atma Bhuto. Enter into atom of the creation. So Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. To that Supreme Personality of Godhead, I worship. So likewise, Prabhupada is bringing here. And another statement about his expansion. This expansion of his plenary parts is also more definitely explained in the same Brahma Samhita. Ekopyaso rachitam jagadanda kotim etchakvirasti jagadanda chaya yadantaha andantarastam paramanu chayantarastam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Ekopi Asau, even though he is the one, Ekopi Asau, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rachitam Jagadanda Kotim, Rachitum is the plan which is manifesting Jagadanda Kotim through Jagadanda, so many millions of universes, Jagadanda Kotim, Yachaktihi Asti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha, by his energies, Yashaktihi Asti Jagadanda Chaya Yadantaha. He enters into all the universes by his different energies. Yachaktihi. Andantarastam Paramanu Chayantarastam. He enters into the universe and also each and every atom. Andantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam. That Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I offer my obeisances to that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda. So likewise, Lord enters at the same. Even yeh Panchabhuta Rachita Rahita Sharire Chennu Aitindra Gunada Chidatmakoham Tena Vikunta Mahimanam Rushim Tamenam Vande Param Prakriti Purushayoho Pumamsam. The baby in the womb, he prays to the Supreme Lord. One of the prayers. Yah Panchabhuta Rachita Rahita Sharire Chennu Aitindra Gunada Chidatmakoham Tena Vikunta Mahimanam Rushim Tamenam Vande Param Prakriti Purushayoho Pumamsam. So actually, I am not this material body. Yeah, Panchabhuta Rachitaha Sarire. It is made, it is given to me, and then to experience these pains and pleasures by my past karmic activities. And this is made up of with all the indriyas. Chennu Aitindra Gunarda Chidatma Koham. But whoever has given this body, I am offering my obeisances onto that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tena Vikunta Mahimanam Rushim Tamenam Vande Param Prakriti Purhayoho Pumamsam. The baby prays. Okay, so likewise here, this is also there. Rachitaha, yeah, Panchabhuta Rachita Rahitaha Sharire. Here also, Rachitam Jagadanda Kotim. Even the Lord is the only one. He manifests so many of these universes and enters into this cosmos by his different energies. Echakti asti jagadandachaya yadantaha paramanuchayantarastam. Very beautiful explaining in different ways for us to understand. And then further, impulsionists can imagine or even perceive that the Supreme Brahman is thus all pervading, and therefore they combine that there is no possibility of his personal form. Again, when the Lord is inconceivable, what cannot be possible for him? But they do not understand that one. So herein lies the mystery of his transcendental knowledge. This mystery is the transcendental love of Godhead, and one who is surcharged with transcendent love of Godhead can, without difficulty, see the personality of Godhead in every atom and every movable, immovable object. So we see all the living entities, many things are, trees are growing, cats and dogs are playing, birds are flying, humans are roaming. What is the prime ingredient in all those bodies? It is the life and its consciousness. Life and its consciousness. But intelligence and that will get from the mode of passion and how to use this body for its personal sense gratification. But especially the life, which is the living force, and then consciousness to act through the different symptoms. That needs to be acknowledged. So whoever is acknowledging that is Vidya Vinay Sampani Pandit Brahmane Kavihastini Suniche Suvakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. He sees only the Supreme Lord in the living, all the living entities, nothing more. It is bodies, that is the equal vision. He is the Uttamadikari. So that person, Uttamadikari, can go anywhere in this world freely without entanglement of this material world. At the same time, he sees the Lord everywhere, and at the same time, he can see the personality of Godhead in his own abode, Goloka, enjoying eternal pastimes with his eternal associates who are also expansions of his transcendental existence. So Lord, when he is a spiritual body, in his spiritual body, he enjoys with the similar kind of associates who have got the spiritual bodies. He doesn't take pleasure in the materialistic things. And then this vision is the really mystery of the spiritual knowledge as stated by the Lord. Sarahasyam tadangam cha. This is jnanam paramaguhyam yad vijnan samanvitam sarahasyam tadangam cha gurhana gaditam maya. All the knowledge about the confidential knowledge. So this mystery is the most confidential part of the knowledge of the Supreme. It is impossible for the mental speculators to discover the dint of intellectual gymnastics. But whenever the death is going to come and take place for even the such kind of intellectuals or philosophers, anyone, but they will be bewildered. What is behind it? They're afraid of it sometimes. If their conscience is not properly formed in the mood of devotional service, they cannot enter into the spiritual planet. At the same coming back and falling down into material pool again. So that is going to be the next statement. Etavadya jidhyasam tatvijhyasnatmanah anvaya vitirikabhyam yatsya sarvatra sarvada. In whatever the researches are happening, they have to lead to the devotional service of the Lord. Okay, so and then that is the mystery. It can be revealed through the process recommended by the Brahmaji in this Brahma Samhita. So this is Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilocharena Santa Sadaiva Hrudeshi Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achinti Gunaswarupam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And whose eyes are tinged with the Prema Anjana, love of Godhead, and Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, see, with the mood of bhakti, they would see in the Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti, they will see the Lord in their own hearts. See, always observe within their own hearts. Santah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. And what is that form? Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. The Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, is Shyamasundara with all transcendental qualities. Achincha Gunaswarupam. This is inconceivable qualities and the form. That Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship that supreme personality of Godhead. So one should have, this is everything, ultimately love of Godhead. It needs to be awakened. Whatever the living entity we see, we need to be compassionate. कृत्वा दयां च भूतेषु दत्त्वा चावयमात्मवान्. So there the Lord says to Kadama Prajapati, many statements. Krishna says to Arjuna in the Dhyana Yoga, one has to see the living entities and the Lord in one has to see the Lord in all bodies of all the living entities. That is the ultimate perfection of life. Okay, so likewise Prabhupada is describing here. Then one will be completely in the Pravishanti Akuto Bhayam. Okay, we shall stop here. We'll continue the rest in the next tomorrow. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the third shloka of the Chita Shloki. Yata Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chavacheshvanu Pravistani Apravistani Tata Teshu Natveshvaham. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we shall quickly move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Today it is letter to Makanlal, June 3rd, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request Sanchita Mataji to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My dear Makhan Lal, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated 21st May 1970 and noted the contents. Regarding your special worshipment of Lord Nityananda, Shri Narottam Das Thakur has sung Gaurango Bolite Hobe, etc. When that time will come when the torrents of tears shall pour from my eyes simply by uttering the name of Gauranga. It is not that one should worship one and neglect the others. So the symptoms of Lord Nityananda's mercy are exhibited according to the description of Srila Narottam Das Thakur by the detachment from material sense enjoyment, because without being freed from the attachment of material sense enjoyment, nobody can enter into the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Radha and Krishna Leela, or the pastime, is perfectly understood by following the instructions of the six Goswamis. So all these favors and mercy of the Acharya and incarnation go together. It is not that if I receive favor of one section, I shall be reluctant to receive the favor of other section. It is a very good symptom to have received Lord Nityananda's favor, but we are actually favored by Lord Nityananda. But if we are actually favored by Lord Nityananda, our business will be to please Lord Chaitanya. And if Lord Chaitanya is pleased, then we can easily understand the truth of Radha Krishna through the mercy of the Goswamis. So the above verse means that as soon as one will chant the name of Lord Chaitanya, he will feel transcendental ecstasy. All of us should wait for this stage of life. The transcendental ecstatic moments certainly become manifested in the devotee's body, but they should not be exhibited amongst common men. When Lord Chaitanya met Ramananda Roy, both of them felt the ecstasy of embracing one another. But as soon as Lord Chaitanya saw Ramananda was in the company of some outsider Brahmanas, he checked himself. This is already described in our teachings of Lord Chaitanya. The transcendental symptoms of ecstasy certainly are auspicious, but they are not for advertising to others. One should not advertise directly or indirectly that one is feeling like this. They should be checked. Otherwise, one will gradually become sahajiya, or the one who takes spiritual advancement as something materially manifested. Actual spiritual advancement means detachment for everything material. So our activities are nothing material. Detachment from material activities means detachment from spiritual activity, means attachment for spiritual activities, devotion and service. After all, our energy has to be utilized. So when it is materially detached, it means with greater enthusiasm our spiritual activities increase. So Lord Chaitanya is combined form of Radha Krishna. If Chaitanya is pleased, Radha Krishna automatically become pleased. Now our mission, Krishna consciousness mission, is to execute the will of Lord Chaitanya. In this old age, whatever I'm trying to do is just to give little service according to my capacity to Lord Chaitanya's mission. I have not come here for some personal credit in this old age. I have also come here under the order of my spiritual master, who is not different from Lord Nityananda. Lord, so you are all helping me in the execution of my mission. So please do not try to do anything beyond the jurisdiction of my instructions. I will, my will, I have already disclosed to you that to you all that each and every one of you should chant Mahamantra regularly in 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principles, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra on the streets, try to distribute book and literature, and specifically in San Francisco. You should observe the annual Ratha Yatra very gorgeously. I can assure that if you follow my instructions as above mentioned, there is no doubt that that through me, my spiritual master Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur will be pleased, and through his mercy, Nityananda will be pleased. In this way, Lord Chaitanya and ultimately Radha Krishna will be pleased, and thus your life will be successful. You are all intelligent boys. Please try to understand me and do the needful. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any reflections, Mataji, from this letter?
Yes, Prabhu. I don't think I'm qualified enough to share reflections on this. It's quite deep. I think this disciple of Prabhupada, he's asking Makhanlal, he's asking maybe some question regarding the Guru Parampara in much details. And I mean, it seems that we have so many, like, we have the Panchatattvas, we have the 6 Goswamis, and the Guru Parampara. Maybe he's asking some question like, if I have affection or like liking for Nityananda Prabhu, like, is it that enough? So Prabhupada is trying to explain that, he's a original guru, that Nityananda, but what does Lord Nityananda say? He sings in one of the Narottam Das Thakur song that Gaurango Bolite Habe. So basically everybody is there because Gaurango is none other than Radha Krishna, the Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, in the mood of Radharani. So whether it's Nityananda Prabhu, the 6 Goswamis, whoever, everybody is, it's trying to serve Gaurang, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this song Gauranga Balita, he says, like, when will the time come that in ecstasy I will be uttering the name and my eyes will be full of tears for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain, Makhanlal, that all this comes from detachment of material sense enjoyment. So, whenever we are able to free, because we have, our energy is limited, like as human beings, we have, our senses, like it's limited senses. So, and our energy is also limited. So once we detach a part of the material sense enjoyment, only then we can be free and have that energy to enjoy the attachment for the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So unless we do that, we do not feel these ecstasies and the moods that we read in so many of the scriptures about the different exalted devotees of the Lord. I mean, how they have expressed and experienced, and Krishna Raj Kaviraj Goswami or Narottam Das Thakur, they have expressed in their songs also uh, all these different moods. So Prabhupada is saying that to understand perfectly to understand Radha and Krishna perfectly, understood by following the instructions of the six Goswamis. So we know how the six Goswamis, Mahaprabhu, he instructed the six Goswamis because he could not be in Vrindavan for a long time, but and that time Vrindavan was like kind of forgotten in a way after the Mughal, attacks and all. So it had become a dense forest. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. He and then revealed he was there for a few months, but he then came back to Jagannath Puri and continued his tour of the southern India. But he instructed the six Goswamis to be there and to do like austerity, lot of austerity and bhajan, and then they were the ones who they found the different different vigrahas or the deities which were buried, and they found all. They made Sanatan Goswami made the Madan Mohan temple, and also they did a lot to reveal Vrindavan to the form that we to the state we see now. So it's because of their austerities and following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's trying to make Makhanlal understand that it's not only Nityananda Mahaprabhu, but all the different acharyas and their incarnations, they all go together, and how it's connected to Krishna through the Guru Parampara. So ultimately, if we are able to get the favor of Nityananda Mahaprabhu, then our main business is to please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because that's only we understand, and for that we need the mercies of the Goswamis. So in different words, he's trying to make us understand. And then he's mentioning that, like, this when we feel this transcendental ecstasy, it's not to be exhibited in amongst common men. And he's giving the example of how once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met Ramananda Roy, and they were in ecstasy embracing each other. And then Ramananda Roy, he was in the company of some Sahaji Brahmanas maybe, and he checked himself in, and he restricted himself, and he did not show his ecstasy. So and this can be found in one of there are many such pastimes in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, where we see, he has only shown all these the six-handed form to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, 400 form of like Varahadev to Murari Gupta. So like Murari Gupta, Swarup Damodar, Ramananda Roy, these, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had many associates when he was in Navadvip, Mayapur, as well as when he was in Jagannath Puri, but only to he had some internal associates, and within whom, like, he uh, disclosed himself what he was, and he showed his other forms as the 600 forms and the 400 forms, and he loved discussing them. So Ramananda was one of them. But when he was, these acharyas, they were in the company of some other, like, outsiders. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu restricted himself. So this shows that one should not. So the instruction here is, one should not advertise directly or indirectly these ecstasies. Then you become a sahajya, or like who takes, like, this, like crying for the Lord or feeling very ecstatic. All these, So in the Shastras also they say, like, there are some things you keep hidden, like from, like we keep a bead bag hidden. We do not, like, from in the Japamala in the bead bag, or the Gayatri mantra, it's like secret. people like the Vaishnavas, they keep their Ishta Devata, they do not disclose their Guru Maharaj, like they follow the Guru Maharaj's instructions, but there are certain things like they keep secret, it's not displays, otherwise it becomes like more influenced by the materially manifested and become sahajiyas. So actual spiritual advancement here means detachment everything that is material, and only then we can be able to enjoy or be attached with the devotional service. And when we get devotional service, then our spiritual activities and the enthusiasm for the spiritual activities increase. And then yeah, he mentions that Lord Chaitanya, he is the combined form of Radha and Krishna, and how in this movement, Prabhupada is mentioning that I have come in this old age so far. It's not for to get name and fame, like just for me. I am trying to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, and following the instructions of my spiritual master. And then he's connecting that it's our Guru Parampara is a disciplic succession, and that who is non-different from Nityananda Prabhu. So my mission, so he's asking that if you just follow my instructions and do not do anything outside my the instruction jurisdiction of my instruction, like doing chanting 16 rounds, following the regulative principles, doing the Sankirtan movements on the street, book distribution, and observing Rath Yatra, especially the first one which had started in San Francisco. If you keep on doing it and follow my instruction, that no doubt my me and my spiritual master will be very happy, and finally will be able to please Nityananda Prabhu. And through that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be pleased, and finally Radha and Krishna will be pleased. So he's saying that you all are intelligent, so if you just do the needful and understand me, then I'll be happy, and so will be the Guru Parampara, and finally Radha and Krishna will be very pleased and he'll be given mercy. So that's basically what the main message is, trying to connect to the Guru Parampara, how we should not directly approach Radha and Krishna through the Guru Parampara, through Guru, spiritual master, Prabhupada, and the succession, disciplic succession. So that's my understanding Prabhu through this letter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained this letter. It's a long letter, but our long letters come on Saturdays, it seems.
Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Prabhu. So Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Taranya Mataji. Radha Sevka Mataji, Saranya Mataji, wanted to add any more points? Usha Mataji.
Just wish we could just do this and just follow Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, just only the point. Do not try to do anything beyond jurisdiction of my instructions. This is generally comes from the spiritual master. When we try to do it different from the plan, what happens? All our plan will go ruined. Nothing will come success. If we use our own brain, different from the spiritual master. If spiritual master is asking for a water, we need to bring only the water, not the juice. So he knows what he is asking. So likewise, Prabhupada mentions the same statements in a different way, in different letter. We don't have to bring the milk or yogurt, something like that. If he is asking water, we need to take water. So do not try to. So this is also going one of the uh, so to disobey the orders of the spiritual master, one of the offenses, if we disobey about that. Okay, so that is Prabhupada again stressing that point. Whatever the points are there in the Krishna consciousness, we simply execute it, chanting chanting and follow the regulative principles. Yeah, simple as that. There's nothing hiding. Nothing much secrets. All are open secrets only. Okay, that is from my takeaway points as well. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, and so sometimes we see so many prayers, like the prayers to the Goswamis, prayers to different uh, Krishna directly, and also the Vishnus and the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Varahade. So many prayers are there, but we hear Prabhupada is mentioning here. So all these favors and mercy of the acharyas and incarnations go together. All go together. So that is one point that we can take away as well. We need to receive the favor from the Vaishnavas. Vande Gurun Esha Bhaktan Esham Esha Avatarakan Tat Prakasham Cha Tat Chaktihi Krishna Chaitanya Sanyakam. So like Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he invokes his auspiciousness, blessings from all of them. Gurun Esha Bhaktan Esham Esha Avatarakan. So all these are included here. Prabhupada is mentioning. Tat Prakasham Cha Tat Chaktihi. Okay, so that is my takeaway. And Nityananda and Balaram, he is none other than Balaram, who is the Guru Tattva. Okay, so that is from this letter. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, and apart from that, and from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita recitation on the occasion of Gita Jayanti, which was on Wednesday, but we got this slot this evening. Starts at the 6:30 p.m. Do we have Mrida Sachi Mataji? Okay. So, yes, so the recitation, Bhagavad Gita recitation at 6:30 p.m. today. It starts with the Mangalacharan prayers and then Gita Dhyana and then chapter 1 to chapter 18. And before chapter recitation, we say just Ata Pradhamadhyayaha. And then at the end, after reciting all the verses, Om Tat Satiti, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Supanyatatsu, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, Sri Sambhade, Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Pradhamadhyaya. Likewise, all chapters needs to be starting and the ending. We go with the same flow without not too speed, not too slow, with a medium speed. It will be more auspicious and divine to hear such kind of recitations. Okay, that is my updates from me. And devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no further updates, then we shall move to the next part of our program. That is Srimad Bhagavatam in the Vaikuntha description that we have been discussing since for past few weeks. So in the last week, we have also recited this shloka 9th shloka of third canto, chapter 9, where the Lord is saying about it is the glories of the Brahmanas and devotees. And he says that he takes the dust of the dust from the feet of the devotees and put on top of his head. In such a way, he respect all the Vaishnavas and Brahmanas, and who would not dare not to take such kind of dust onto top of their heads. Even Lord Shiva, he also wears the Ganges river, which is coming from the Krishna's lotus feet. So who would not dare not to take the dust of the feet of Vaishnava? So likewise, the Lord is glorifying. This one we have recited last week. So we shall see today the purport what Prabhupada has given here. येषां बिभर्मि अहम् अखण्डविकुण्ठयोग माया विभूतिरमलाङ्घ्रिरजः किरीटैः विप्रांस्तु को न विषहेत यदर्हणाम्बः सद्यः पुनाति सह चन्द्रललामलोकान्. So yesham bhibarmi. So yesham bhibarmi, of those brahmanas. So the Lord is speaking to four Kumaras here to pacify them and how he respects all the brahmanas. Yesham bhibarmi, I bear yesham bhibarmi, aham, I akhanda vikunta yoga. Akhanda is the unbroken. Vikunta is the unobstructed. Yoga Maya is the internal potency. Vibhuti, opulences. Amalangri, so the pure and angry of the feet. Rajah Kiritaihi, the dust on his helmet. So Yesham Bhivarmi here, and then Angri Rajaha Kiritaihi. So he takes the dust on top of his helmet. And Vipramstu Kona Vishaheta Idarhanambaha. Vipramstu Kona. So those above the Brahmanas. Then Kona Vishaheta Idarhanambaha, who would not Vishaheta carry yet Arhanambaha of the Supreme Lord. Arhana is the Ambaha, water which was washed the feet of the Lord. Sajjaha Punati, which sanctifies at once very quickly. Sahachandra Lalama Lokan, Sahachandra Lalama Lokan, along with Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is the Chandra Lalama. So he has got the Chandravanka on top of his head. So that's like Chandra Lalama. So he is Lord Shiva and Lokan of the three worlds. It purifies Lord Shiva and also all the three worlds. And so that Lord, he himself, he wears the dust of the feet of Vaishnavas and Brahmanas on top of his head. And who would not dare to take it, who will refuse to do the same thing. Likewise, the Lord is saying to Kumaras, Yesham bhivarmi aham akanda vikunta yoga maya vibhutir ramalangri rajah kiritaihi vipramstu kona visheta yadarhanambaha sajjah punati sahachandra lalama lokan. Very beautiful verse. So this we have got many pastimes with this one. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Can I request any devotee, voluntary devotee, to read this purport? Please. Gaurangi Mataji, would you like to read this purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay, Prabhuji. Sure. The difference between the internal and external energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is that in the internal energy or in the spiritual world, all the opulence are under under to under understood uh, whereas in the external or material energy, all the opulence are temporary manifestation. And the Lord's supremacy is equal in both the spiritual and material worlds, but the spiritual world is called the kingdom of God, and the material world is called the kingdom of Maya. Maya refers to that which is not actually fact. The opulence of the material world is a reflection. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that this material world is just like a tree whose roots are up and branches down. This means that the material world is the shadow of the spiritual world. A real opulence is in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, the predominating deity is the Lord Himself. Whereas in the material world, there are many lords. That is the difference between the internal and external energies. The Lord says that although He is the predominating factor of the internal energy, and although the material world is sanctified just by the water that has washed his feet. He has the greatest respect for the Brahmana and the Vaishnava. When the Lord himself offers so much respect to the Vaishnava and the Brahmana, how can one deny such respect to such personalities? Thank you, Sabra.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Very beautifully read. So here, Prabhupada is describing difference between the internal and external energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is that internal energy or this that internal energy is always in the spiritual world, and all opulences are undisturbed, whereas in the external or material energy, all the opulences are temporary manifestations. So yesterday we were reading one of the shloka in the chat group. So that is like it goes like this. Just wanted to share that one. So so the Prabhupada is describing that I think it is 24th verse. So here, whenever there is no material energy, so the Lord felt somewhat insufficient, like a husband feeling lonely in the absence of his wife. So this is a poetic simile. So is describing so that where is that one? Yes. So all that the creation of the internal potency was manifested, and other potency appeared to be sleeping, and the Lord wanted to awaken her to activity, just as the husband wants to awaken his wife from the sleeping state for enjoyment. It is the compassion of the Lord for the sleeping energy that he wants to see her awaken for enjoyment, like the other wives who are awake. The whole process is to enliven the sleeping conditioned souls to the real life of spiritual consciousness, so that they may thus become as perfect as ever liberated souls in the Vaikuntha Lokas. So this is Prabhupada was giving a simile, poetic simile. So here, this one, what? Yes. So this one. So in the Vaikuntha Loka, all opulences are undisturbed, but this material thing is temporary manifestations. The Lord's supremacy is equal in both the spiritual and material worlds, but the spiritual world is called Kingdom of God, and the material world is called Kingdom of Maya. So here in this world, if we see, mother is the she carries out all activities of the home, looking after the children, cooking and everything, giving pleasure to the husband, and looking after the in-laws and everyone. So without her, all these kind of activities cannot take place. She engages many of those things. So here Maya refers to that which is not actually fact. The opulence of the material world is a reflection. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that this material world is just like a tree whose roots are up and branches down. It is the Buddhamulam Adashakam Ashwadham Prahuravyayam. And all this, in this material world, they go because of the Vedic injunction. Everyone are tied up with the Vedic injunctions. Yatha nasipotaha tantyam baddhanamabihi. So just like that, uh, everyone are tied up through the Vedic injunctions. Some, some people say, I don't know Vedic, it may be Hindus or something, but everyone, that is called illusory energy. It acts on them. That's why they foolishly act like that. But actually, they're also tied to the Vedic injunctions. So this means that material world is the shadow of the spiritual world. Real opulence is in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, predominating deity is the Lord Himself, whereas in the material world there are many lords, many lords. Especially in the democracy, we see every 5 years one person is coming, and then after that, whoever is called the minister now, after once he coming down from his position, he will be put up into so many problems by the other opposition party. They will put so many cases and put him into the jail or torture him. That is so called the material world lords. That is democracy, which is a demon's craziness. But in the spiritual world, even that was the same in the previously the king used to rule the kingdoms. That is the proper way of ruling. That is the monarchy. Monarchy. They used to rule the people. But that is always eternal. Lord is always the Lord in the spiritual worlds. Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the difference between the internal and external energies. The Lord says that although He is the predominating factor of the internal energy, and although the material world is sanctified just by the water that has washed His feet, He has the greatest respect for the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas. So this is, but still, he has got great respect. So there is a very beautiful pastime. When the Lord Himself offers so much respect to Vaishnava and Brahmanas, how can anyone deny such respect to such personalities? So this one is a respect, and in respecting to Brahmana, one pastime is with dust of his devotees. So there was one story to describe about it. Once upon a time, Narada Muni went to Dwaraka to meet with Sri Krishna. There, he found Krishna suffering from a headache. Sri Krishna told Narada Muni, Devashi, today I am suffering from a severe headache. If I do not get the proper medicine before sunset, myself will be at risk. Then Devashi became worried and asked Krishna, My Lord, please tell me know what kind of medicine you need to be cured. Then Krishna said, I need the foot dust of my devotees. If I put this dust on my head, I will be cured. Then Narada said, there is no difficulty at all. You have unlimited devotees all over the unlimited universes. Confident of the ease of the mission, Narada Muni went straight to Krishna's queen, Rukmini, and informed her of Krishna's request. Rukmini replied, O Devashi, it is a matter of great concern that our husband is suffering from severe headache. But how can I give the dust off my feet to put on the head of my husband? This is adharma. He is my Lord. I will suffer in hell if a particle of dust from my feet touches the head of my Lord. Then Narada Muni went all over the queens, but none of them would give the dust off their feet for the same reason. Then Narada Muni went all over the devotees, including Shiva and Brahma, but nobody gave their foot dust. Meanwhile, the headache of Krishna intensified. After that, Narada Muni went to Vrindavan and asked everyone, but nobody gave their foot dust. At last, he saw Radharani with her Sakis on the banks of Yamuna. He straightway went to them and asked for their foot dust. Radha said, Devashi Narada, we are not great devotees of the Lord. Still, if he has mercifully considered us, as his devotees, then immediately we are ready to give the dust of our feet. Immediately Radharani collected the dust of her feet and gave it to Narada Muni. Thus, encouraged by her Saki, all the gopis gave their foot dust too. Narada thought to himself that these simple covered girls do not know the reactions that they will suffer when their Lord will smear their foot dust on his head. He asked the gopis if they knew the consequence of giving their foot dust to the Lord. With one voice, the gopis replied, "Yes, we know. If by giving the foot dust we will have to suffer hell eternally, then we will happily make this special contract with Yamaraja and go to Yamaloka. In exchange, we simply want to see that our most beloved, who is our life's breath, is become cured from his headache. His happiness is our life. We do not know any pleasure other than the pleasure of Sri Krishna. What does it matter if we must go to hell?" Narada Muni, with great ecstasy, left for Dwaraka. When he reached there, Krishna smiled and said, "Narada, you have brought the food dust of the gopis. Now my disease is cured. Just see, you consider yourself a great devotee of mine. Why could you not give the dust of your feet at the beginning? However, this has taught you one thing. Now you should know these gopis of Vrindavan are my greatest devotees. They have given their life to me." So this is the beautiful pastime of the um, how Krishna takes the dust of feet of his devotees. On the other occasion, in the Rajasuya sacrifice, when the sacrifice is going on, it is very huge festival. So at that time, Yudhishthira is assigning so many of departments to charity department to Karna and finance department to Duryodhana and also organizing things to Bhishma Deva and likewise and also Dronacharya, many other things, assigning many things. And when it comes to Krishna, he assigned to receive the Brahmanas. And what is the duty? Wash their feet of the Brahmanas and then to collect that water and sprinkling on to everyone. First, Krishna is to wash the feet of the Brahmanas and sprinkling on top of his head and sprinkling on to all others. This is the duty for Krishna and Arjuna. See, that is Krishna is the Bhakta Vachalaha. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. That is our beauty of our Lord. He is always Bhakta Vachala. When that Lord He Himself is doing, accepting the dust of His devotees on top of His head, who would not refuse to do the same thing? So, Lord Himself offers so much respect to the Vaishnava and Brahmana. That is the beauty of our Lord. So this is Sadhu Hridayam Mahim Sadhu Nam Hridayam Tvaham Najanate Madanyante Najananti Naham Tebhyo Managapi. I don't know anyone except my devotees. My devotees don't know anyone except me. I am in their heart, they are in my heart. That is the intimate relationship between the Lord and his devotees, Vaishnavas. So they're all the Vaishnavas means they're always with the connected to the internal potency, yoga maya. They're always in the divine supervision. Sometimes we may think that whether the Lord is seeing us or not. But as long as we are in the deep connection, chanting six indans, following the relative principles, and without sense enjoyment, then we are nothing but the Lord's close associates. No janma ishwarya spruta sribi hedamana madakman naivaharati tad. They are not the qualifications to receive the mercy of the Lord. Tvam akinchana gocharam. Once we have received read that one in the Prabhupada's letter, we should renounce that material enjoyment. When there is a detachment, then we relish all the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, which is the topmost. Okay, so likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. Um, Okay, so dear devotees, if you wanted to add any reflections or any questions, kindly share or kindly ask questions. Hare Krishna. Okay, so just can I request dear devotees take a turn and recite this verse? So I think you did last week as well. Just only once by every devotee. Yeah. And then we move on to the next verse. We start with Usha Mataji. I'll enable this Devanagari as well. Your voice is too slow, low, Mataji. No, it is very low. Yeah, go on.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now we can hear Mataji.
Okay. Yes. Vikarmya Maya Vibhutiramalankriraja Kirite Viprastukono Visaheta Yadarambava Satya Punati Sachandralalamalokam.
Very nice. Thank you, Miss Mataji. Can I request Sanchita Mataji next, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. येषां बिभर्मि अहम् अखण्डविकुण्ठयोगा माया विभूतिरमलाङ्घ्रिराजकिरीटैः विभ्रंस्तु को न विषहेत यदर्हणाम्भः सद्यः पुनाति सह चन्द्रललामलोकान्. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Radha Sevika Mataji, please?
येषां ब्रिवर्मि अहमखण्डविकुण्ठयोगा माया विभूतिरमलङ्गिरि राजकीर्त्या विभ्रंस्तु को न विसहेत यदर्हणामः सद्या पुनाति सह चन्द्रललामलोकान्.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Gauringi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Ma yesam bivadime aham akhanda vikunta yoga maya vibhutir malangri raja kiriteha viprastu kuna visaheta yadarhanambah sadhyaha punati saha chandra Lalamalokan. Hare
Very,
Krishna Prabhuji.
very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, this is Esham Bhiparmyaham Akanda Vikunta Yoga Maya Vibhuti Ramrangri Rajah Kiritaihi Vipramstu Kona Visheta Idarhanambaha Sajjah Punati Sahchandra Lalama Lokan. So beautiful verse. So this is how he has got his respect towards his devotees. Okay, so shall we move to the next verse? So we touch this verse today, and then again next Saturday we go into the deep as well. So here the Lord is saying that if anyone who is disrespecting the Brahmanas and if they make any offenses, then my associates or the Yamadharmaraja's associates, what they will do, they will punish such kind of offenders in such a way, comparison like a uh, these vultures, they will uh, catch the snakes and then tear their body in such a way like these associates of Yamadharmaraja, they will punish all the miscreants, Brahmana offenders, Vaishnava offenders. Likewise, the Lord is saying here. Just by thinking that their body is different, they are weak in such a way, though Brahmanas are maybe their looks like a weak or small due to their austerities and penitence, one should not see their bodily thing. Okay, so likewise, and also see similarly the cows as well. Cows and Brahmanas, especially devotees. Okay, so we shall recite this verse. ये मे तनुद्विजवरान् दुहतीः मदीयाः भूतान्यलब्धशरणानि च वेदबुद्ध्यां द्रक्ष्यन्त्य कक्षसदृशो हि हिमन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषा मम कुशन्ति अरिदण्डनेतुः ये मे तनुद्विजवरान् दुहतीः मदीयाः ye may. So those which persons ye may my so tanur is the bodies, Dvijavaran, the best of the Brahmanas, and Duhatihi, the cows. Ye may tanur Dvijavaran Duhatihi Madiya. So in such a way that relating to me, Bhutani, living entities, Alabdha Saranani and defenseless. These cows and Brahmanas, they're always in the offenseless devotee, defenseless ones. They're always, they do not take any kinds of appliances and protections for themselves. They're always sadhu living, sadhu jivis, in the mode of goodness. This is Alabdha Saranani, defenseless. Beda Buddha, considering as different, thinking that they don't have any support behind them. So that is the Veda Buddha. If we see that living, for example, if there is ant and mosquitoes, we see spider, we think that, oh, this doesn't have any protection. If a little spider is there and if that spider has got hundreds of soldiers to protect it, then we have got so much respect for the spider also. Because uh, we can see that. But if those soldiers are not visible, even though it is being protected, then we don't have much respect for the spider or mosquito or ant. And what we do? Simply we just kick it out or just throw it out and kill it somewhere other. That is called Veda Buddhya. Is it different based on the body? So Yeme Tanu Dvijavaran Duhatihi Madiyaha Bhutanyalabda Sharanancha Veda Buddhya. So thinking that these Brahmanas and cows, they are defenseless and they don't have any protection. And if they act in such a, if they perform any offensive actions towards those Brahmanas and cows. And here Drakshanti Agadrusho, Drakshanti Aga Kshatadrusho, Drakshanti, and see Agha by sin, Chataha is impaired, Drushaha, whose faculty of judgment. Drakshanti Agakshat Drushohi, Ahi Manyavastan, Ahi like a snake, Ahi Manyavastan. Manyavaha is angry, Tan, those same persons. And what happens? Grudra Mama Kushanti Adidandanetuhu. Grudraha is the vulture-like messengers. Rusha with angrily. Mama Kushanti, So they are my so Grudra Rusha Mama Kushinti Adidandanetuhu. So Adidandanetuhu is the of the superintendent of punishment. That is Yamadharmaraja, all his associates. Yamadharmaraja is devotee of the Lord. He is employed to punish all the miscreants, to balance the dharma. Okay, so the Lord is saying, so ये मे द्विजवरान् दुहतीः मदीयाः भूतान्यलब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्यां द्रक्ष्यन्त्यगक्षतदृशो हि अहिमन्यवस्थान् गृध्रारुषा मम कुशिन्ति अधिदण्डनेतुः. So translation, the Brahmanas, the cows and the defenseless creatures are my own body. Those whose faculty of judgment has been impaired by their own sin look upon these as distinct from me. They are just like furious serpents, and they are angrily torn apart by the bills of the vulture-like messengers of Yamaraja, the superintendent of sinful persons. So this is the Lord's statement. So we should not. It is the considered because their body is different. We should not disrespect them. What happens? So messengers of Yamadharmaraja will tear their body. Those people who are the offenders, even for all the others as well, leaving out their body is very difficult. यमदूतौ तदा प्राप्तो भीमौ सर्वसईक्षिणौ द्रष्टा त्रस्तहृदयः सकृत्मूत्रं विमुञ्चति. Just by looking at the messengers itself, one will make himself like a stool and urine at the same time. Just by looking at them, he will pass the stool and urine. Drashta trasta hrudayaha chakrutmutram vimunchati. So such a fearful person. So what they will do? They will tear the body of these offenders. So likewise, the Lord is saying, Gurdharusha mama kushinti adidandanetuhu. Can I request anyone to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I recover?
Yes, sure, Mataji.
The defenseless creatures, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, are the cows, brahmanas, women, children, and old men. Of these five, the brahmanas and cows are specially mentioned in this verse because the Lord is always anxious about the benefit of the brahmanas and the cows and is prayed to in this way. Therefore, the Lord especially instructs that no one should be envious of these five, especially the cows and brahmanas. In some of the Bhagavatam readings, the word uh, Duhi Prita is used. Duhi Prita is used instead of Duhatiha. But in either case, the meaning in the same uh, Duhite means cows, and Duhite can also be used to mean cow because the cow is supposed to be the daughter of the sun god. Just as children are taken care of by the parents, women as a class should be taken care of by the father, husband, or grown-up son. Those who are helpless must be taken care of by their respective guardians. Otherwise, the guardians will be subjected to the punishment of Yamraja, who is appointed by the Lord to supervise the activities of sinful living creatures. The assistants of messengers of Yamraja are likened here to vultures, and those who do not execute their respective duties in protecting their farms are compared to serpents. Vultures deal very seriously with serpents, and similarly, the messengers will deal very seriously with a neglectful person. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So again, Prabhupada here describing the defenseless creatures, the cows, brahmanas, women, children, and old men. So these are all 5 categories. We have to give a protection to all these people in all times and circumstances. Sometimes we see out of these things, old men may be sometimes asking and acting like a children. We need to look out them like a children. But they have got lots of experience throughout the material life, and we can take all good instructions from them. Because they are weak, we should not disrespect them. We need to give so much of carefully respect. And also when it comes to women, women are also their nature sometimes, even though they say a few things, but we need to tolerate those things, because understanding that they are of doing it with the mode of passion. Prabhupada number of times mentions that woman is they can go up to mode of passion. It is a bodily conception. They cannot go to the mode of goodness. I mean, in the material platform. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, we see as a spirit. But in the material platform, so woman is always to be protected by the husband or a father or a grown-up son. So likewise, these 5 categories are very important to give protection, to take protection from the persons. And Brahmanas and cows are especially mentioned in the verse because the Lord is always anxious about the benefit of Brahmanas and the cows, and pray to and is prayed to in this way. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya. Out of Go Brahmana, Go comes first. So here, Tanud Vijavaram Duhatihi Madiyaha. So the Lord is always anxious to protect his devotees, Brahmanas, and the cows. So therefore, Lord especially instructs that no one should be envious of these 5, especially the cows and Brahmanas. And again, if it Duhati or Duhitri, so both are of the same meaning. Prabhupada describes that. And again, the cow is supposed to be the daughter of the sun god. Okay, so that I don't know this one yet. Need to find out. Any pastimes, dear devotees, if you know any of these things, cow is the daughter of sun god. Anyone has got any idea? If you can share. Okay, if not, then I'll try to find out the information. And then, just as children are taken care of by the parents, women as a class should be taken care of by the father, husband, or grown-up son. Those who are helpless must be taken care of by the respective guardians. Otherwise, guardians will be subjected to the punishment of Yamadharmaraja. So sometimes, if they, even though they are making some mistakes and falls, at that time punishment may be required by the guardian, or the husband, or the father, only for their protection, for well-being, but not because that he has got authority. So sometimes it is also natural that one has to have listening tendency to the authority. If we do not listen, then what happens? If a foolish person does not listen, and if he has got a bad association, then that's it. His life is going to be completely ruined. When father in the home, when the authority is good, we have to take the instructions from him. And we need to have all the good association, good friends. But because generally women, they are more of talkative nature. Wherever they go, immediately they make the conversations. But if that conversations if changed to the Krishna's topic, then everything will be spiritualized somewhere or other as much as possible. But sometimes because they think that I know many of those things, so some, not everyone, some people who are on material platform, and if they have got that tendency, if they do not take instructions from the husband and our father, then their life may not be happy. Again, Prabhupada describes women, and Prabhupada and Bhakti Vikas Swami mentions about the mothers and so there is a book. It was composed by Bhakti Vikas Swami, Mothers and Masters. Everything is in the hand of the mother. All the home runs as the center of the mother. When mother is in properly situated in the right consciousness, the home is like a temple. Otherwise, it is a hell. Okay, so again, a guardian of such kind of the people, if he is not protecting, then the associates of Yamadharmaraja are going to punish them very severely because they are not following their duties. And also comparison is the how vultures deal with the snakes. Likewise, the associates of Yamadharmaraja deal with these sinful people or offenders. Okay, that is Prabhupada's descriptions here from this purport, and also the Lord is personally saying that one. ये मे तनुद्विजवरान् दुहतीः मदीयाः भूतानि लब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्या द्रक्ष्यन्त्यगच्छतदृशो हि हिमन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषा मम कुशिन्ति अधिदण्डनेतुः. Can I request dear devotees take a turn and then recite this verse as well? And also, if you have got any questions, kindly share, or any reflections, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall recite this verse. Okay, so we shall recite.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, just when Ka was the daughter of sun god, I was trying to look. I think it's I couldn't find completely. It's somewhere in the Brahma Samhita. I think it's given mention the reference, but we have to find more about that. But I think when you search on Google, so in some Egyptian mythology also, it's like according to them, in their scriptures also, a cow is referred to the daughter of sun god. So of course, because we know our Hindu, our Sanatan Vedic civilization is the oldest. So all this Greek, Egyptian, they take things from our scriptures as well, long time back, thousands of years back. So must be some reference, I think, in Brahma Samhita. We might find out later. So I couldn't find the complete thing. Just wanted to share this little thing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, in the Brahma Samhita, I haven't seen this one, this statement. But anyway, we'll find that information. We'll share it later on. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, any other sharings or reflections, or we shall recite? Okay, Gauringi Mataji, would you like to start the recitation?
Prabhu, can you once do it a bit slowly so that we can get...
Yes, Mataji. Okay, we line by line and let 3 times and later on you do it. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
ये मे तनुद्विजवरान् दुहतीः मदीयाः
ये मे तनु द्विजवरान् दुहते मदीयाः
मदीयाः.
Madiya.
We stop there, so the ha comes there in the synonyms if we see.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, in the Sanskrit also it stops at Madiya in the first line, yeah.
Yes, Madiya. And because we take some breath, otherwise it will go without ये मे तनुद्विजवरान् दुहति मदीया भूतानि लब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्या. When we continuously do it, just Madiya. When we
Madiya,
take
okay.
a breath there, take the break and take the breath. Madiyaha. Okay, again, wherever it is possible, kindly devotees unmute and follow. Ye me tanudvijavaram duhatihi madiyaha.
Ye me tanurdvija
Madiyaha.
varanadhuhatirmadiyaha.
Bhutani labda saranani cha veda buddhya.
Bhutani
Bhutani
labhya
sarvani cha
saranani cha
veda
veda buddhya.
Drakyanti agapsudrisho himanyavastan.
Drachyantya
Drakshyanti
gachatadrisho
agashatadrishohi
yahi
ahi
manyavastan.
manyavastan.
Grudra rusha mama kushinti adidandanetuhu.
Gridra rusamama
Vidvanti
kusantyadhi
charushamati
dandanitu.
abhidandanitu
Again.
griha.
Ye me tanudvijavaram duhatihi madiyaha.
Ye me
Ye
tanu
tanu duija
dvijavaram duhate madiyaha.
varanduhatirmadiyaha.
Bhutani labda saranani cha veda buddhya.
Bhutanya labda
Bhutani
saranani cha
sarvani cha
veda
veda
buddhya.
buddhya.
Drakyanti agapsudrisho himanyavastan.
Drachyantya
Drakshyanti
gachatadriso
agashatadrishohi
yahi
yahi
manyavastan.
manyavastan.
Grudra rusha mama kushinti adidandanetuhu.
Gridha rusamama kusyantadhi
Mama
dandanitu.
Shanti Abhidananituhu.
Ye me tanudvijavaram duhatihi madiyaha.
Ye
Ye
me
me tanu
tanu
dvijavaram
duija
duhate madiyaha.
varanduhatirmadiyaha.
Bhutani labda saranani cha veda buddhya.
Bhutanya
Bhutani
labda
labda saranani
saranani
cha
cha
veda
bheda
buddhya.
buddhya.
Drakshantya himanyavastan.
Rakshyanti
Drakshantya
agachata
gachata driso
drisyohi.
yahi manyavastan.
Grudra rusha mama kushinti adidandanetuhu.
Gridhra rusamama
Dharushamam
kusyantya dandanetu.
Abhidandanituhu.
Very beautiful. Okay, so would you like to take the turns to recite?
Gritra.
Who would you like to go first? Garingi Mataji.
Sure, Babuji. Okay. Ye me tanur duija baran duti marmadiyaha. Bhutanya labda saranani cha veda buddhya. Drachyantya gachyata trishu hyahi amanyavastan. Gridhra rusa mama kusanyatyadhi dandanetuha.
Netuhu.
Nittehu.
Netuhu. Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully recited. Radha Sevka Mataji.
ये मे तनुद्विजवरन्दुहाति मदीया भूतानि अलब्धा शरणानि च वेद बाधया द्रक्ष्यान्ति अगाशतदृशो हि अहिमन्यवास्तान् गृध्रारुषा मम कुशान्ति अधिदन्दनेतुः
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Sanchita Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. ये मे तनुर्द्विजवरान् दुहाते मदीयाः भूतानि अलब्धशरणानि च भेदबुद्ध्या द्रक्ष्यन्त्य अघर्षत दृश्यो हि अहि मन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारुषा मम कुष्यन्ति अभिदण्डनेतुः. हरे कृष्ण.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. Usha Mataji, please.
ये मे तनुर्विजरा ददुहते भूतानि लब्धा शरणानि च पेदबुद्धया दृश्यन्त्यक्षतदृशो हि मन्यवस्तान् गृध्रारिषा मम कुशन्ति अभिदण्डनेतुः
Very beautiful. Would you like to read the translation once more, please?
Shall I say what?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. The Brahmanas, the cow, and the defenseless creatures are my own body. Those whose faculty of judgment has been impaired by their own sin look upon this as distinct from me. They are just like furious serpents, and they are angrily torn apart by the wheels of the vulture-like messengers of Yamraja, the superintendent of sinful persons.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So that is the beautiful verse the Lord is saying. So that means he is respecting and treating all the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas like his own body or my own body. Okay, I shall stop there and I request dear devotees kindly share your understandings or any questions you wanted to ask. So discussion brings all beautiful, it will reveal and disclose so many of internal things as well. Okay, so no questions? Okay, so here, whenever we are reciting this verse, sometimes we see Drakshanti Agakshat Drusho Hi Ahimanyavastana. Ahi is the snake. So when we are reciting, if we just mix this one, combine this one, Hihimanyavastan, it goes very beautiful recitation. Ye me tanur dijavaran dohatihi madiyaha bhotan yalabda. When we combine these two, it will go very beautiful recitation. So here in the Sanskrit, here, Bhutan Yalabda. Likewise, Ved Buddhya Drakshanti Agakshat Drusho Hyahimanyavastan Grudhrarusha Mama Kushinti Adidhandanetuhu. In a single breath, if you are reciting, it will go in a beautiful flow. But here, this is the first line and second line. It depends on which flow we wanted to use. I don't know the meters and all, but they look very beautiful and familiar to me whenever we are reciting all these things. So likewise, it goes straight away. But there are meters again in the Sanskrit, in the slow, in the Bhagavad Gita, different kinds of small verses, little bit big verses. Big verses like they go sing like they are going like singing in the 11th chapter. Usha Mataji took that part to sing. This Bhagavad Gita itself is a big song. Yes, so there is different kinds of verses. Once we try to relish this reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, we will never ever leave it. That the beauty inside is already embedded in it, and the main ingredient is the Lord and devotional service. And the beauty is already put up in that verse itself, and recitation, the sound vibrations, all in one, Uttama Shloka. The Lord is glorified with Uttama Shloka, the best shlokas from the Srimad Bhagavatam. That way we relish while glorifying the Lord. Okay, so any other sharings? We are already 20 minutes past. Okay, if no questions, then we shall conclude.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When we see the synonyms of this shloka, I mean, women is not mentioned, but in the purport we see Prabhupada mentions that, like, women, old men, like, if you just go a little bit
Yes,
below
ma'am.
the purport, women, children, and all men. Like here only brahmanas and cows are mentioned. So is it like Prabhupada's interpretation, or it's in the shloka? It's, I mean, when we see the synonyms, we do not see those words, women, children.
Yes, Mataji. So here, these are the defenseless creatures, like Veda Buddha. Bhutani alabdha saranani cha, alabdha saranani, who are defenseless. So women, they cannot defend themselves. Of course, sometimes it is going on, but naturally they cannot. And also the cows, women, cows, children, and old people. So for them, they are always dependent on the persons, a man, the father, husband, or the guardian to the cows, and Brahmanas are always in the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. But because as we see that they don't have any protection if we act in a offensive way, that way Prabhupada is interpreting cows, Brahmanas, women, children, and old men.
Okay, yeah, Prabhu, that makes sense. Yeah, Alabdha Sharanani. So that's here in that category. Other, yeah. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So this one also mentioned in the Bhagavatam first canto, whenever Studra Dvijabandhunam Trayinam Nasuti Gochara, likewise, there are some other part of the scripture also mentioned the same statement, whatever Prabhupada is mentioning, possibly from Manu Samhita, the which is practically implementable. We can take all the Manu Samhita, practical way of living. Okay, so thank you so much. We shall conclude for now and then continue with our further japa. Okay, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the class. And let's all please unmute and say three loud Hari Bols to Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol,
Haribo,
Hari Bol,
Haribo,
Hari Bol.
Haribo.
Very bold. To all the devotees, you are so nice and very, very committed devotees. That encouragement goes in both ways. So all glories to all the devotees. Thank you so much for your valuable association. And all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the devotees, Lord Chaitanya and Guru Parampara, and finally Radha Krishna and Astasakis. So they are very beautifully looking at us and with a merciful glance, looking so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu, for sharing like this. So thoughtful of sharing the Mayapur Darshanarti and Mangalarti. It like makes the chanting japa so blissful. I mean, sometimes the mind goes here and there, but when we keep on looking at the deities and the beautiful decoration each and every day, I mean, just keeps us so focused. So that's like your thoughtfulness of earlier, like I think from last year you have been doing this, but earlier we used to just chant, and mind is, of course, we are still not we haven't managed to control. So this helps in chanting, though regularly I'm not able to join earlier, but still whenever it goes on, I mean, our mind is not uh, fly around here and there. So thank you for all that you do. I mean, little thoughtful things, but and then one day you mentioned that if we see them very deeply, we understand that every day they look more beautiful. That's true, very true. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for those reflections. Yes, they're always day by day. It is so beautiful. We see them very beautiful. Yes, so that is how the process is internal. If many people will come and take darshan and they will go, they don't recognize because we see every day, observe the deity Radha and Krishna. We make our connection internally. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna conscious everyone. Radha Sekar Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. And I think I second what Sanchita Mataji said. The deities always look more and more beautiful. It's like you think one day, can you look any more beautiful? And then the next moment, they look, it's magic. And I suppose that's the beauty of the spiritual world. And Krishna, it's that it's forever new. And therefore, there's never any boredom, or it's ever increasing and everlasting and ever changing as well, but in the sense of just getting better and better.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, they're beautiful. Very nice. Very pleasing to the eyes and to the heart. Okay, so thank you so much. We shall continue with our japa.